here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site, on location in Buffalo, New York. We are here for the USCAA Division I men's basketball tournament, and I am joined by the leadership of the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse, here from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios on the road, and that is our campus director, Miss Mary Hawkins, as well as our athletics director, Brooke Paro. So this is tournament week. This is the day, and it's kind of not hit me yet that this is the first round. But the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are the number one seed in the entire nation. I'm going to say that one more time because I feel like it. Number one seed in the country. And this team is ready, amped, and I thought that they were ready after yesterday's practice. And then after last night, this team is absolutely ready for this first round matchup. They have Berkeley coming up today mid-afternoon. So with that being said, Brooke, Mary, how are you?
I'm doing well. I am super pumped for this game tonight. I know that we're going to rock it.
I'm very excited. I'm ready to go. So I know the boys are too. I know that they are ready to go and win a national tournament. So tonight is just the beginning.
So for this moment, for the school, just what it means, and Mary, I'll start with you on this, just what this does with eyes, what it does with recruitment, what it does with just the overall message to be on this stage, to be the number one team, and to carry that brand of Bryant and Stratton for Syracuse.
I think being the number one seed just says it all. I think it shows the heart that we have for our athletic teams, and then the coaching skill of Coach Clay. So very excited to be on the national stage in this way.
Brooke, for you, we've talked about it before, but you got to know these student athletes over time because of your previous jobs, the other hats that you've worn and whatnot. So just what you could say to see these gentlemen be here in this moment, and just how special that is because you know the personalities.
Yeah, it's so special. So I think one of the things is having watched them grow. Darren, Chamarri, they're seniors this year. They have been with us. We have watched them from their freshman seasons all the way up to now. Yeah. They have earned their spots. They have earned to be national champions. So I'm so excited for them. I'm excited even for our freshmen on the team. They have worked, our transferring juniors. One of the Steve Martin actually just keeps coming back to my head of be so good they can't ignore you. Yeah. That are these boys. They have faced adversity, they have faced hardships, they've faced wins and losses, and they are ready to be so good that they're not ignored. So.
That's right.
And you talk about that being so good that you can't be ignored, controlling what you can control.
Yeah.
And I mean, the elephant in the room is from the outside, maybe the respect's not there. What can you say to that chip on the shoulder? Because I felt it last night. I feel it now. I went to bed last night with like a fire in my belly. When they talk about having a fire in your belly, I had that. And I texted Clay before I went to sleep and I said, I can play tomorrow.
Okay, coach. I'm ready.
So just what you could say to that, to having that chip, to having that fire. Do you feel that as an athletic director? I mean, you're like this sweet, calming, just wonderful voice, but at the same time, you're a competitor. You played soccer, you played at Bryant and Stratton, so do you feel that fire in the belly?
Yes, I do. And I think that it sets the stage perfectly for us, because I feel like even having been the top seed of the league for almost the entirety since the beginning of the season, yeah. I feel like somehow they've still set the stage for an underdog story. And to me, that was, as a player, that was my favorite place to be in. Yeah. Just go out there. You're not walking out cocky. You're not walking out with any expectation. You're walking out there to work, to grind. I laughed yesterday because we were sitting at breakfast, and we're a family at Bryant and Stratton. You know, normally the boys will come, give me a side hug, whatever, say good morning. They all came down and shook my hand. And I'm going, what is going on? Like, and I was like, did you guys all meet together? Like, why are we, like, handshaking like we're, like, first meeting? And they're like, Miss Brooke, we're on a business trip. And I was like, there you go. We're here to do business. We're here to do what we do best, which is playing basketball. And we're going to win a national title, so we're excited.
I love hearing that. Mary, to that point, you know, I'm a handshaker. I'm a handshake, look you in the eye. When I came down in my suit yesterday, I'm used to bumping the fists of the guys. and then I came up and I bumped your fist and you laughed. Was that because I didn't shake?
Yes.
The team didn't give you the memo.
Yeah, you definitely missed that point yesterday.
Yeah,
So.
I remember like as soon as I did it, I was like, why did I just bump Mary's fist? And so Mary, for you to see the growth and just the progression. There's two things going on. Like Brooke said, this team has been number one in the country the majority of the year, but they've also grown.
Yes.
So it's like they've been at the top, but they've been growing through that. Some teams get at the top, they rest in their laurels. Some teams could be in the middle of the bottom, they never grow. Some grow from the bottom to the top. This team has been at the top, but they've also been challenging themselves and growing. What's that dynamic been like to see?
I feel like, just being at the table last night with all of the team, they have a fire. And sometimes, as you said, you can be at the top and maybe lose that passion a little bit. Yeah. There's definitely the passion. That is not lost. And I think, last year they didn't come in as number one. So there's been a lot of growth between seasons as well. So I'm just really proud.
And Mary, I'll start with you on this. What did you feel when you woke up this morning?
I feel excited. I feel very excited, hopeful. I just know this is the start to the big game on Friday.
And I can't speak to every campus director, but I've been around the country and I've seen NCAA, I've seen USCAA, I've seen professional leagues and whatnot. Seeing all different leadership, there are people that come in, stand in a gym, look around, talk to a person or two, and leave. And then there's Mary Hawkins. Oh. Why are you the way you are?
I'm just dedicated. I love everyone. I love the teams, Brooke, Clay, and they're, as Brooke said, it's our family. And being a Bobcat does mean that you bleed blue. And I've only been a Bobcat just under 2 years, but I definitely bleed blue. And I'm just proud of being in this environment. I've worked in higher ed for over 30 years, and this is one of the first schools that I've worked at that actually has had athletics. So it's been very fun for me, and I was a soccer mom. I was a basketball cheerleader, so I do love those sports.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, just loving the family and bleeding blue and letting that, to me, you stay a big kid. And speaking of big kid, Brooke, no, I'm kidding. But you have that nature about you where, how do you balance that? Because you're a leader, you're leading an athletic department, and at the same time, you joke around, you have fun. At the end of the girls' basketball game, the women's basketball game, the final game of the season for Bryant and Stratton, you were playing dodgeball. So, how do you balance the two into the marriage that you have where you have this just way with the student athletes?
I think the relationships are everything. And I think seeing the humanity portion of you still in a professional manner, but for them to be able to see you're human, even you have emotions, you have excitings, you have downs, I think is so healthy for the student athletes, because rather than just being a robot that prints out paperwork or has them sign certain things, they see the different facets of who you are, and they learn that that's okay. And even last night was a difficult night, I think, for our program as a whole, and for them to watch Clay take it as a professional, as an adult, as a man, watching me have those emotions, experience the same thing they're experiencing at the table, and how those reactions come out. Yeah. And I think that's so good. And I know for me in the past with my coaches, watching the way they react to adversity and the way they react to excitement and seeing how they channel those things. And I know I ask Mary questions all the time because she has more experience than I do in saying, how did you handle this situation? How do you do this? And learning from that is so beneficial. And I think that's really what I want to instill for our students is for them to see what a leader, what maybe someone walking a few steps ahead of them, what that path looks like. Because I think that creates deeper bonds with the students as well. And in the fun parts, who doesn't want to have fun? Who doesn't want to play dodgeball? So I don't know.
So you're talking about relationships and relationship building, but I heard that you didn't get that on something.
On my strength finder.
So like, can we talk about it, Mary? What happened? Because she has not let this go.
I feel very personally about this.
As a new member of our campus management team, so the campus management team all took this Strengths Quest assessment so that we understand our own strengths and we can lead from our strengths, and that we can understand each other's and lean on each other. And Brooke recently took hers, and I don't want to overshare, but found that strengths she thought might be her top strengths were not.
Yes.
So it's in relationship building. It was not in the top 10. It has to be 11.
Yeah, it must be 11.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is very interesting because I think anyone around campus would say one of the highlights of me is having those relationships with our students and making sure that they feel cared for and seen, and that they're a priority of the college. So I think that is very interesting to me, because I would feel like that was one of my top strengths. But actually my number one was being futuristic and looking towards the future and planning. And I think as an athletic director, I did take quite a bit of pride in that, because that is what Clay and I mean, we could talk about for hours on end. We have to stop ourselves in the office sometimes just talking about what's that next step for Bryant and Stratton College and for our athletic program. And I think this week is going to be a great first step for us as a program, is winning their first national title and then keep stepping from there. And how do we, once you've reached the top, in essence, where do you build off that? So...
And Mary, she's been scouting locations. She's been talking to you about stuff. I mean, when you talk about looking at the future, that's been coming out of Brooke's mouth. Brooke has challenged herself in the short time that we've been here in Buffalo. She's challenged herself in so many ways, but there's one way that she did not. She did not go against the stop and go across the freeway that I walked across while she yelled.
Because I'm a rule follower.
And I don't know what she was yelling at me, but I turned around in the middle of the road. I walked backwards, and and I said, "There's nobody here." And then she said something, and she said something again. There's two more somethings, and then and I was like, "What is she saying to me?" And I didn't know if you were saying "run" or "watch out," because at the very end of me crossing this very long road, before it said that I could, because I'm a New Yorker, there was a car that was right there. So I don't know if she was trying to save my life. I have no idea.
She probably was.
I don't remember either. I think I was yelling "press the button" from the other side. So
yeah, she was like, "You can die. Just make sure that you
make sure you press the button on your way out, so Dylan and I can cross."
And then I did realize to press the button, but then you guys already could go across. So Mary, I'm going to ask you a question that I need you to pretend like Brooke is not here.
Okay.
Why is she the athletics director?
It's funny. I was thinking about the Strengths Quest, and Brooke's, the areas where she really had the top 10 were strategic, influencing, and executing. And that's what I've seen as I've been here. I've seen her be very strategic. She's very thoughtful. She'll research whatever it is that she doesn't know to add to her knowledge base and to her decision making, and she will execute the heck out of things. And so I saw her do that as Res Life Director. We put her in a community relations role, and she's just proven herself time and again. So it was really, it might not have been the obvious choice at first, but when she came to me with a plan of what she would do as athletic director, it became the obvious choice. And I have to say, I'm really proud to have one of the few female athletic directors. So way to go.
Whoop whoop.
Look forward to watching your entire career.
And you said she may not be the obvious choice, but she became the obvious choice.
Mm-hmm.
How?
She came in with a plan. She wanted to be the athletic director, and she did show what the future of that could look like and got me bought into what that future could be.
Are you willing to share any of that plan?
Yeah. So when Nick was leaving, I was like, what is next for our program? Because obviously athletics has always sat so near and dear to my heart as a student athlete, and seeing the stage that they set for us. And I mean, truly that was where I learned to be a leader. I learned how to face adversity. I learned how to be strong. Yeah. And that was all from my coach. And so athletics has sat so close to me, because I'm like, how do we give that to our students? And I think also, just talking from a higher ed side, it is huge to retention. It's huge to graduation rates, and having them grow and be who they're going to be post-graduation. Those, there's so many skill sets you learn inside athletics that makes you great in your workforce. So as all that stuff was kind of stirring up in my brain and I can't sleep at night going, what's next for our program and what's next for these athletes, I started to just look up what strengths do athletic directors have? Who are they? And as I started to read, I'm like, I have those qualities. And I'd honestly never thought about it for myself, even though I loved athletics so much. But as I'm starting to read, I'm like, no, I have vision. No, I am strategic. I am a leader. I can do these things. And then so I just started to take those qualities and I put them into, like I send everything to myself on Teams. So I started to bring that all out. And then I formalized an email to Mary and just said, hey, this is who I am. This is what we need as a program. And I think I could be the perfect fit.
Who did the first? Was it you saying, "Oh, maybe this could work," or is it you saying?
Oh no, it was me. It was me, 100% saying no.
I was like, okay, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so from that first moment that you reached out to where we are right now, Mary, it's early on in this process, but when you look at Brooke, like you said, she maybe wasn't the most obvious, but then she became the most obvious. Now that you've seen her in the element, in the jungle,
yeah,
how's this Bobcat look?
She's doing very well. She's a great supervisor. I think that Brooke, may be a natural leader, but she's definitely worked to develop herself as the leader as well.
So as we are looking at the background of all of that and what these Bobcats can be and what it can look like, defining a Bobcat, and this is important to me because we see the logo, right? There's different places. We talked about Cleveland, Wisconsin, Buffalo, Albany, Rochester, there's Syracuse, and Virginia. So when we see Bryant and Stratton and we see that name, Syracuse, making that name stand above itself, right? Stand on its own. That logo, maybe a similar logo, but the Bobcats of Syracuse are what, Mary?
I think it's heart and family.
It's emotional. Yeah, I felt it when you said that, and I mean, to me, it's like, and I've always been this way on and off the air. When you said heart and family, I got a little tear behind my eye because that's genuine, right? And on this show, as you all know that watch and listen around the world, there's no script. I have no, like, if you see me look down at my phone, I was sharing it in Facebook and sending something out there as well. But there's no notes to that, and there's no pre-conversation, pre-interview of, like, Mary saying, this is what I'm going to say, and this and that. I mean, you said heart and family. And I love that. And I genuinely feel that, Mary, so thank you for that. How quickly did you feel that here?
I felt it, remember, one of my third day here. We did a podcast with all of the coaches, and I could just tell that it was something special, and I was really glad I had joined the team.
Yeah, we did, and that was history. That was for you. We did a panel, and we just all sat at the table, and there again nothing written down. We're just talking, and I wanted them to get to know Mary to get to know them. Did you feel like coming out of that you had more of a sense?
Absolutely. And we got to have some conversations after about what it's like to be on a Dan Tortora podcast.
What did you say, Mary?
We bonded over that.
Yeah. Did you
Trauma bonded?
Yes. No, it wasn't trauma bonded.
Thanks,
well,
Brooke.
for some people.
For Alex, maybe. Yes. Alex.
I love this kind of thing, but not everyone does.
Yeah. So doing that, we had spoken about essentially who everybody would be in Ted Lasso.
Oh my gosh, we did.
I watched this episode.
So I want to know, Mary, now that I'm rewatching Ted Lasso in the hope and prayer that there will be a season 4, who's Brooke?
Oh, that's good. I think she's a new, exciting character.
Okay.
I'm new and excited.
She's a new exciting. What role would you have her in with the club? If she's the new exciting character, and we know Ted Lasso maybe is not the coach at the start of season 4. Maybe he will be at some point, but he's not right now.
Yeah.
Who is she in this world now? Did she take over the team? Was the team sold?
I think she might have. I mean, they needed, someone also positive like Ted Lasso who believes. She has strong beliefs, so Could be.
Brooke,
Tune in.
Who would marry me?
I don't know. I feel like I have to be really careful with this. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're being careful.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like Mary would be Ted Lasso because she is the star of the show. Like, she walks in every room and is just the star. So that would be, like, everywhere she goes, I feel like you hear Mary. So whether it's a community event, whether it's, on campus just walking around, she's the star of the show. So we can't steal that from her.
Mary Lasso.
I like it. Now, Mary, for you, we've both done these heart-to-heart conversations, these art of leadership conversations, so to speak, here on Wake Up Call in Bobcat Buzz. And of course, the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And as we're here in the Great Lakes Honda City studios, having spoken with both of these leaders individually, Mary, as you've evolved in your leadership role, and congratulations to you. You said I've been here for about 2 years, and you came in, and I remember that, like, we're going to talk to Mary, we're going to meet Mary, get to know her, and I was really excited to do that. And then it was like you took off running, and then it's like, oh, now Mary's doing this, and she's expanding into this, and now here's her title, and we're including these campuses. You have spent a short amount of time doing a lot of things. How are you evolving? How are you growing? And what's it felt like?
That's a really interesting question. I feel like as a leader, I come in and I kind of assess, what's going on, what's working well, what's the need, where do we need to develop. And so that drove a lot of the things like you were talking about with community outreach, because it seems like a lot of organizations after COVID, we kind of fell off as far as things that we were doing in the community. So doing that, I'm an ambassador for Center State CEO, so I get to go to all kinds of fun things like grand openings, anniversaries with all of the partner businesses. And actually, even if you're not in Center State CEO, we'll come do your grand opening or ribbon cutting. So I've done that, and then taking on the campus, the Liverpool campus, which has a nursing program. So it's been a challenge to make sure that I'm still hitting all of the important things, because at the end of the day, it's about serving our students and serving our employees, making sure that our associates feel taken care of, that they have what they need to do the job to take care of the students.
And to stick with that for a second, as you grow and you take on more duties, more responsibilities, how do you stay Mary? Because you kind of just alluded to that, that as you evolve and you do more things and there's more on your plate, you don't want to lose that secret sauce that makes you you. So how do you keep that?
Delegation. So really one of the things I love to do is figuring out where people's skills are, like we were talking about with the Strengths Finder and assessing that. And so I lean in, Brooke will cover a lot of activities for me. Shelly Schmidt, who's our career services director, she and I do workforce solutions together. So always determining who's there that I can tap into. I have to give a shout out to Beth Gifford, who just helped me on a project and was indispensable. So
We love Beth.
Yeah.
We love you, Beth.
Yes, we do. So really using people where they're strong. One thing I love to do is the different events that I go to, I like to kind of pull people that I think might have an interest that don't normally get to go to things. So taking some of our faculty to the Genius New York event where they had $3 million in grants that they gave out to local startups. So just that kind of thing involving people, I still get to keep those relationships because we're out in an event together.
So how do I get invited to a Mary event? How does that
Oh, you'll be on the list.
Okay. Brooke, have you gotten a Mary call?
Oh, I've gotten lots
Yes.
of Mary calls. Yep.
Okay.
And it's been awesome because that's a huge growing point for me. Is I love community relations because I see what we can give out and give back to our communities. And also, we're a small school, so there's so many, especially non-for-profits in the area, have given back to us with having them come in and talk to our students or table, so I want to make sure that we're being a good community partner and giving back. So every time Mary takes me, I feel like it's a growing point for me because I have to build these relationships, which are not my strong suit. but I do get a bit intimidated. So I think it's good to step out into the world
Yeah.
and take that step of leadership and say, no, these are the relationships we need. And I think what's good is it's for something so much bigger than me. Because if it was just for me, I don't think that I would naturally be as brave to do it. But knowing this is for the benefit and for the good of our student body and for our associates, that makes me want to take those extra steps and say, no, we need this because this is going to better us as a school, as a campus, and as a group of people.
How have you most challenged yourself up to this point?
That's a good question, Dan. There's been a lot of challenges, I think, for me. One is really stepping into my position, because I think as much as I can feel confident talking to Mary, it's because there's a natural trust built there for me, and I know that Mary really does an excellent job in wanting what's best for the associate.
Yeah.
So I have trust built up in Mary to say, I think this is a good step. But I think on an outward facing role, I tend to say, well, someone else can do a really good job at it, and I'll underrate myself. So now to kind of be in the athletic department, the top of the pyramid, and taking that ownership and saying, no, this is me and this is our direction, and having that ownership, because we have so many multi-talented coaches that have so much experience in the field, who have been with the college for, I think our Stu is obviously new, but before Stu, 3 years plus, all the way to 15 years plus. So coming into that amount of experience and taking the leadership role there has been a very healthy challenge for me, because I know what I know internally, and I know I'm very good at what I do and at executing. But taking that step of confidence has been probably a larger challenge, and how to do that well, right? How to do that with compassion, with grace, with excellence and elegance, I think leadership is very multifaceted. So.
Yeah, no, and I love that. I love that you use excellence and elegance as well, because those are unique ways to discuss leadership. Mary, for you, how have you most challenged yourself?
Oh my goodness. Well, athletics has been a challenge. I've been a campus director in the past, but not with an athletic program. So that's definitely been something that's been interesting to take on and to get involved with. As far as, I think, just the community engagement as well, trying to build those relationships, grow the knowledge of Bryant and Stratton College.
And before we get the student athletes on, I do get that knock. So before we have that, I want to make a final note here to something that is on my mind when it comes to this tournament. Bryant and Stratton Syracuse is a national champion in women's soccer, in men's soccer. Men's and women's basketball have made it to the national tournament, but we already know how to be national champions. Mary, how do we expand into the hooping world and turn around and say, of the sports that are carried, almost every single one of them has won a national championship? What do you want to say to the men's basketball team?
You go get them. We are going to do this. It's going to be an exciting ride this week, and I really look forward to being there with you.
Brooke, as the director of this athletic department, you know that you've taken over a department that knows, again, how to win a national championship. The men have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think the biggest one is you have our full support behind you. We as a college are rallying. We are behind you. You have our support. You have everything that we have to give you. You are prepared. You are talented. You've already faced adversity. And you know how to win a national championship, whether it's because of watching men's soccer and women's soccer do it. But on top of that, I think they're champions in their heart. And I know that might sound a little cheesy, but I do believe it. They have what it takes. So we're going to go out there and we're going to encourage them. And we have our Bobcat fan bus coming out today. So we're going to have associate staff, students. When we say we're all behind this program, we are all behind it. And we're ready to wear white because we'll be the home team as the #1 seed. And we'll be ready to cheer on these cats.
Yeah, well, I love that. And I can't say enough about it. I love the community and the family and the support, and to come to a place, to be a part of a place, to be partnered with a place where you see other programs, other sports supporting each other. And I don't think I've been to a single event where there hasn't been some type of I'm on this team or I know this person, and they just want to be there for each other. So Bobcats don't travel alone, and if I've learned anything about the jungle and the cats out in the jungle, I think the Bobcats are the hungriest ones, and you get to see that today. And that will start off the tournament. That's the thing. That's the clip. That's the reel, Mary. That's the one that makes it out of here. So with that being said, for your campus director at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse, Miss Mary Hawkins, for your athletics director, Brooke Paro, and myself, Dan Tortora, we're going to take a step aside from Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and this exclusive Bobcat Buzz inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Coming up in just a few moments, I have two gentlemen that in my heart, in my mind, are not only All-Americans, but you got a player of the year and a guy that could push the other guy into saying, hey, if you're player of the year, then I got to be something too. We have Chamarri Baskerville as well as Jordan Drain joining the show right after this. Thank you. Appreciate you both. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacted the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, on site, on location in Buffalo, New York. And we are here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to win a national championship inside the USCAA Division I men's basketball tournament. Your number one seed in the entire country, Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse. And I have with me right now Chamarri Baskerville, who is not only an All-American in my book, but is also one heck of a dunker. I caught one yesterday, and I love watching. It's still my favorite. My favorite dunk that I've seen was this season in transition, left-handed, pass to yourself, up and in against Five Towns.
Yes, sir. That was nice.
So that was a very nice one. And we have the, in my opinion, once again, player of the year, the nation's best player statistically, but more than that is shaking hands, being humble, being kind. Since the day I met this guy, not only is he capable, but he handles himself as a teammate and not somebody who's caught up in the lights, and that's Jordan Drain. So Jordan, welcome. Happy to have you. Chamarri, welcome. So gentlemen, today's the day. I don't know how you guys feel. I hope you feel how I feel times 100, because I've been patiently impatient. I got a fire in my belly. I went to bed texting Clay at whatever in the morning. I was like, dude, I could play tomorrow. So Jordan, I'll start with you. How are you feeling right now that it is finally game day? You finally get to go up against somebody else.
I'm just ready to go out there and hoop. Word.
Ready to go out there and hoop, like you said. How have you spent this week? Like, how have you spent this time? And really not just the last few days, but since the last game, how have you kept yourself focused and locked in, knowing that you had to wait to play in this national tournament?
Really just keeping my body ready for the tournament so we can get ready and take this whole thing.
You feel good?
Yeah, I feel great.
Mari, what have you done in the in-between getting ready for today?
Same thing Jordan said, getting my body right, stretching, make sure I'm eating the right stuff so I can perform in my best way on the court.
Yes, sir.
There's something to be said about saying that you're a team, but then actually being a team. And there's subtle things that I see that I pick up on, which is dressing like a team. You guys got the blue zips on, black pants on. Just what you could say about being unified in not only dress, but in heart and in culture. Chamarri.
I just feel like, as a team, this team especially is more than a team, it's a brotherhood. We all know each other from different places, so it was just evidently it was nice that we all came to the nice place, this one school.
Yeah.
And we just here to get this one thing only.
Jordan, for you? to be that unified culture?
Oh, you feel me? Like we all like it started off a little crazy in the beginning, but as we came towards nationals, we got way better as a team. That's what I feel like, we got way better.
How did it happen? When Mari says this is more than a team, it's a family, and you say there's adversity in creating any family, really. What happened to turn adversity into we're together? Because sometimes adversity breaks a family, sometimes it makes a family. How did adversity make this Bobcat family?
I feel like it just brought us together more, to be honest. Like every time we took a loss or something, or two people butted heads, we always came together afterwards.
Why did you do that? Why do you think you guys did that? Why do you think you came together?
Make it a break.
Yeah,
Make it a break?
Yeah.
just like you said, adversity could break us, adversity can make us.
I'm pretty sure, sorry to cut you.
No, you're good.
I'm pretty sure we all face adversity coming from different schools too. So I feel like the experience and you got guys that you can count on, depend on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes us real tight.
So who are those voices that in moments of adversity the team tends to listen to? Who are the people that can be that glue at
Shout
times?
out to Dallas, man.
Yeah,
Dallas,
definitely.
definitely a vocal part of our team, which we always need. Because some guys in the midst of a game, head is down, they don't really want to talk, but you have teammates that uplift you with the words that they say.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is definitely one of those guys.
That's key, definitely a key part.
So do you have another one?
My boy Dave too. Dave's
too,
always
yes.
spreading positive energy, or never once has negative energy. Who else?
Shout out to Dave.
Or
And Dave and Dallas. So Dave and Dallas being on the show during the season, the energy that I felt speaking with them, and Clay. I mean, I've known Clay since he started the women's basketball program all the way through. And when I sat with him and Dallas and David, and I feel it now. I just said, I was like, and that was the day I was like, there's a different feeling to this team. There's always been talent on this team, but there's something about how this is a team now. It's not just talent. Like, this is a unit. This is a family. And there was an energy that they were carrying. And I looked at them and I said, if this energy is throughout the team, like, this is going to be a different season. I believe you can win a national championship. And I told them that day that I'm not doing anything else. I'm not going to any other tournaments. Usually at this time of the year, I'm in different parts of the country. I said, I will go nowhere outside of Buffalo. I am going to Buffalo. I am promising you guys, I'm punching my ticket. I'm going because I want to see you win a national championship. And I remember them saying, like, he doesn't even know. Like, he doesn't even know right now what he just did. Like, what he just punched, what he just agreed to. Mm-hmm. And what's that going to look like? If they say you don't even, like, if they say, you promise us you're coming, then you're coming and it's a done deal and you don't even know, like, you punched that ticket, what does that look like, Jordan?
trying to elaborate on that more.
Yeah, just what that when they say like it's about to be on, like, that energy, they wanted me to feel that, like, what you agreed to do, like, we got something. What is that something that you have?
Dogs.
Yeah, we're a bunch of dogs. Bunch of them.
Got a lot of dogs.
You have given so many pieces and continue that energy, Chamarri, in the questions here. And when Jordan's being soft spoken this morning, you've been filling in here. But Jordan's a talker.
Yeah, he is.
He's a talker. Why do you rip on Coach X so much?
Nah, that's my dog. He's just mad funny. It's hilarious when we talk, bro.
Like, I mean, this and I'm not saying much about it because I want a lot to be left to the imagination, but while you're creating something on the court, we're also creating this kind of background documentary of such. And I have caught conversations with you and Coach X that were too good for me to pass up. Why? I mean, every time we're on the bus, almost, you say something to him. Why?
It's just me being, that's who I am. I'm just a funny guy.
Okay.
Me and we just tell jokes to each other all the time. Or
Mari, is there somebody that you comedically go back and forth with on the team? There's somebody that messes with you or you mess with?
Yeah. Keon.
Okay.
Like, if you was to ask the team and go around, who's the most guys that always argue in practice, me and Keon.
Okay. And what he said yesterday when he got low, because he sits at the front and a lot of you guys sit at the back, he just said, "Man, I'm mad antisocial." That's what he said. How would you describe Keon?
Keon, I would say he's not antisocial. I would say that maybe for different times, but I've chilled. What I tried to do, because I know me and Keon, sometimes have our differences.
Yeah.
He's interested in music, so as I am. So the last couple weeks, I've tried to go to his house. He lives right across the street from the school. So I try to go over there, chill. Make songs with him. We both could sing or rap. So we try to make songs, just try to keep the camaraderie together.
So like you said, that's a guy that in a practice or whatever you'll butt heads with. You found something that bonds you in music. How has that expanded your relationship and evolved your relationship?
I felt like it got us, on the same page. Instead of, looking at each other like, oh, yeah, I think he doesn't really want me to win. But at the same time, we do. We want both each other to win.
Do you feel like going into this national tournament, you have that you have
Absolutely.
that it's no longer like a button heads. It's like, hey, like we're making each other better.
Yeah, absolutely.
One goal, you said?
One goal.
We're here for one thing only.
And being here for that one thing, it's not one win. It's not 2 wins. It's 3. It's putting together 3. 3 walls to knock down. 3 teams that don't think you can. Why can you?
Our team. When we match up with other teams, they're going to see. I don't need to say more.
And you, I could hear you guys last night. I could hear this, just feeling this emotion. They shouldn't have done that. Like now we're even more. Do you feel, because it seemed like in practice yesterday y'all were locked in. Are you more locked in than the lock-in that you already were? After last night, do you feel like you locked in more? Is it like secure now, Jordan?
Absolutely, because there's a whole bunch of people that should have won awards, not just myself and Darren. Should have been Coach of the Year, some first team for Mari, second team for Marv, and a few others. It should have been honorable mentions at least. Word.
Also, we had some guys that wasn't even mentioned. We had 8 guys on our team to make the dean's list, and only 2 or 3 of them were called up on the stage. So I just felt like we deserve better.
And that just put like a battery in our back.
Yeah, definitely a chip on our shoulder to show these guys who we are.
So I mean, to have that something you can't control from the outside, and knowing what that felt like, everything that comes forward from here. It's kind of that notion to me of like, if they're not going to let us up on the stage, we're going to put ourselves up on the stage. What does that look like, Mari?
All of us going a lot, like really hard, giving our last breath, our last heart out there, leave everything out on the floor.
Do you feel that, Jordan?
Absolutely.
You feel that fire? How'd you wake up this morning? First thought in your head this morning?
I'm ready to kill Berkeley.
And for you, and well, for both you guys and for the team. So after last night, did y'all get together? Did y'all talk? Did a few of y'all talk? Like, how do you spend the night before? I'll start with you.
I was really in my room, so because I didn't really like that I didn't win Player of the Year, but stuff happened. So I really just stayed in my room and really just listened to music, getting locked in for tomorrow. For today.
How do you flip that? Like you said, you really didn't like that. that negative energy, that negative feeling. Like I said, a negative thing that you can't control, but you can be something that you can control, and you can be positive. How do you flip that? Because I love that you said they put a battery in our back. So go a little bit. I want you to go a little bit deeper. I feel it. I went to bed with a fire in my belly. I went to sleep at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I feel it sitting in my stomach right now. And I literally said to myself, like, if these guys don't, I said, I hope that they feel like a tenth of how I feel right now. Because if they feel a tenth of how I feel right now, it's going to be a game. What? Because I said fire in my belly?
Nah.
Well, how do I flip it?
Yeah. How do you turn
That's a great question.
how you feel into positive energy?
Well, I always like to just see the positives in things. I don't just look at it negative. Like, God always has a mysterious way of working.
Mark?
Yeah, just try to look on the brighter side, you know. I feel like if you look at the negatives, it's only going to have you thinking about that the whole time. You know, some stuff you can't control, so you just got to look forward, keep pushing to be greater.
I love that you mentioned we had a bunch of guys that made the dean's list. We had these academic All-Americans that weren't even mentioned. That student side of student athlete. Why did you want the world to know that the Bobcats aren't just the number one seed? The Bobcats are the number one seed in the classroom, putting that work in, doing all of the student athlete. Why did you want people to know that?
I want them to know that, you know, Bryant and Stratton, Syracuse is not just a, you know, a basketball school. We also are heavily enforced on learnings and academics. You know, all our guys, we all go to class, time, get our work done, no complaints by the teachers. So I just wanted, you know, everybody else to know that that's what we do here at Bryant Stratton.
You said Coach of the Year. You know, that coaching staff of the year. Clay Gagan, Sherman, Coach X, Nolan Cass. Why are they coaching staff? Why are they the coaching staff of the year?
We the number one seed, you know. They pull us together too, you know. They make sure we disciplined at times. And, you know, he had a lot of confidence in us since the start. Pushed us real hard. So, and I felt like he deserved it yesterday. I really did.
When Coach Clay talks, why do you listen?
He put my trust in me. He put his trust in me to perform. So I put my trust in him to make things happen.
On the show yesterday, when I was talking to X, he said, make a comparison for you. And I gave you a little Durant love because of the fact, and I said, I was like, it's not, I said, when I watch Kevin Durant, there's just a face. There's like this, if he's got 30 or if he's got 10 or 2 at the time, there's just a face he has. He's locked in. He's ready to play. He has different elements to his game. That's why I said it. And you're welcome. And he said, now that you said that, KD, he's going to say it to me all week long. Have you messed with him about it?
Yup, definitely.
What did you say?
He don't like that. He doesn't like it at all. So I just be trolling him.
So if you had to say Mari plays like, who would you say for Mari? In the NBA right now.
Like a Damian Lillard type of, cause he got a nice little bag. I ain't gonna lie. I already told him about that. You know.
Appreciate that, man.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
So you like that?
Yeah.
How would you compare Jordan? Who would Jordan be?
Jordan, who would you be, man?
X is looking at the camera right now going, Zach Randolph.
Zach Randolph? I can see Zach Randolph, but nah. J.O. faster than Zach Randolph. Or again, Zion Williamson without the bounce. He can shoot better than Zion though, but physicality and rim rise, Zion.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. That man stepped down and blew up a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done that?
Nah,
No.
I've broken a shoe before.
You broke.
Like I stepped wrong and then my foot came out the shoe.
When did that happen?
That was like probably like end of 12th grade, like going into AU.
Okay.
Like Baltimore.
So you got a deal going on with X that you're going to dunk in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Mari is a dunk contest in a game. Do you have your favorite Mari dunk?
Yeah, I had to be that left one. That left hand.
Yeah, that was the only dunk I caught this season.
That's the only one you
Only
had?
one.
Really?
I'm not really a dunker.
But that was like, you fooled me.
It was just senior night.
Yeah.
X did tell me too. X, I know you watching. He said, "Yo, you gotta get dunked for senior night." I'm like, "Yo, you right. You're absolutely right."
You did an in transition, left-handed pass to yourself off the ground and then dunked it left-handed. And I remember sitting there, like, I would have given that a 10. So like, I was like, that was nuts. So back to Mari, back to Jordan. Do you think he's gonna dunk in this tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jordan good.
You think he's gonna dunk?
Yeah.
All right. So what makes you believe that? Okay, so we got some Mari stuff.
Rachel.
Bring home that trap. Josh Wynn says, "What's up, boys?" So, what do you think about? You said Jordan's gonna dunk. You think he is?
He gonna dunk. Nice little drop off pass. 1-2. Hey,
X.
So keys to the game. Bring me into the keys to the game. When you say this team is locked in, this team is a family, this team is ready. What are those things that make a Bobcat, Jordan? A Syracuse Bobcat.
Like, what are the things that
Just when you think about this team, I don't want you giving any way secret sauce or anything like that, but just what you could say when you think about this team of the Bobcats of Syracuse, what comes to your mind? Some words on who you are as a group. Like, you're the number one seed. What's in this team?
versatility. There's a lot of people that can kill you in different areas of the game.
Mari?
We got depth. We got a lot of guys can give you whatever you need. You got guys that's fighting for their life for rebounds. We got guys that can make a play for you. We got guys that play defense, strap. So we got a lot of guys that do different things.
Not everybody likes to play defense, right? But you just mentioned it. Darren talked it yesterday on the show how much he loves to play defense. Guys yesterday were doing that box out drill with coach shooting. And, I mean, I'm capturing it on film that a guy will like you guys were fighting for the rebounds. Guy would grab the rebound and just be screaming out loud in practice. Like, I have watched NCAA Division I basketball teams don't rebound, don't box out, don't chase the ball, don't have a knack for it. Why is defense and rebounding and just boxing out, why do you like it, Jordan? Why is it a part of this team? Because that's how you win. That's trench warfare. So why do y'all like trench warfare?
That's just where we're from. People, like when we play out in the city, it gets gritty, very gritty. So we come out here, we playing with that same edge.
What can you say, Mari, about winning the trench warfare? Because, I mean, to me, that's where champions show who they are. Anybody on any given night can get hot, make shots, be fancy, but that dirty work. Why does this team like the dirty work?
That wins games. Dirty work, definitely gonna win this game. It's gonna be those loose balls we gotta fight for. Gonna be the first rebound off the glass. Gotta box out and go get that. Those stop possessions, like second chance points for other teams. That's gonna be another key for today's game too. Stop them on the glass, and I feel like we're a confident group that we can get that done.
So with that being said, we're going to play a little bit of rapid fire here in this Bobcat Buzz exclusive in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. We can ask each other anything in the world. Lord help me, because this man has not come at me yet. So, so Mari, you can ask me the first question. What's your question for me?
Did you play basketball in high school?
I did. I got recruited NCAA D3.
Really? What
I'm a
school?
shooter. Marywood University, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
How many years you did there?
So I got recruited to go there. Came off a bad coach senior year in high school. Coach called me, and I I didn't play for my high school team. I played CYO. We played out at St. Joe's, and he called me up and he was like, "I heard you can shoot," and I was like, "From who?" I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a prank call, and I was like, he's like, "I got eyes and ears everywhere," and I was like, "All right," and he said, "Come out and see what we're about." And I said, "Coach, I don't know. Like, to be honest, I didn't want to put on him the way I was feeling because I love basketball, but I had a coach not like Coach Clay. I had a coach that made me really, really just not feel that. Like, we were a team, we should have won a championship, but we didn't have leadership, right? And attitude reflects leadership. Y'all got a good leader in Coach Clay, Coach X, Coach Nolan. I didn't have that. So I said to Coach, I'm like, I don't really know. And so he's like, well, come run with us. Just like get a feel for it, even if you don't play this year. They gave me a roommate that was going to be on the team too. And I ended up switching roommates before I even met that roommate. And I was like, maybe I'll do it next year. I just was in between. And then I got called to broadcast 12 minutes before a game, broadcasted the men's and women's games. That started my career. Senior year at Marywood, I was like, do I try out for the team? Do I go and try and do this? Like, I love this sport. And to this day, like, I'll just go shoot, shut my brain off. And I didn't want to leave broadcasting. So I got recruited, but I didn't play for the coach. And we ended up being friends. And I ended up starting my career connected to the team in a different way. But yeah, 5'8", so I wasn't going D1. But Lord, no, I mean, I can shoot. God gave me the talent to shoot, and I definitely honed that skill. So I had to build up my confidence and my endurance. I hated running as a kid, and now I like cardio. So I wonder, like, for me now, like in my game, I actually enjoy doing that. But yeah, I mean, I love to hoop. I love living in that world. I love living in that world. Always wanted to dunk, though. Haven't done that. So, but yeah, that's how it started. And I always put that little feather in my cap that I got a phone call because I never thought I was going to get one.
Okay.
My question back to you, Mari. Okay. One food that you can't live without?
Shrimp.
Fastest answer I ever got in my life. Love it. That's the correct answer. I make shrimp all the time, season it at home, tacos, all that stuff. So shrimp.
Yeah, I'm not a shrimp guy.
Why? You're not a shrimp guy? Why shrimp?
I like seafood.
Okay.
Hate it.
I had yesterday too.
Okay. What's the one food that, like, if somebody's got it on the bus, you're like, bro, put it away because it smells? Like, what is that food that you just can't look at it or it smells weird? There's just something about it. He said seafood.
I'm not really picky either, man.
Is there something that you don't touch? You're like, I tried that, I don't like it.
The one thing I'll try, I'll say pizza.
You don't
I
like
like pizza, but
okay.
I take the cheese off my pizza though. I did it since I was a kid.
So you know that Italians make a thing called tomato pie, and it's a square piece of pizza with no cheese on it. It's sauce, and they just sprinkle like Parmesan.
Really,
You would like that.
I probably would.
Yeah.
I really
And-
dislike cheese on my pizza.
So the campus in Liverpool is right across from Avicoli's. They make tomato pie. So we'll get you some tomato pie.
Okay, I'm gonna be looking forward to that.
All right? We're going to do that for you, Mari. Jordan, Lord help me. What is your question for me?
What made you?
I don't like the way like, I'm seeing here, like, he's like this.
What made you get into broadcasting?
Oh, man. I love, there's multifaceted answer, but I love sports. As a kid, grew up, collected sports cards, watched sporting events, and I just realized, like, collecting the cards, I would flip them to the back, and I'd see the stats, and my brain would just, like, I have a photographic memory, my brain would just take in these stats, and I'd be sitting at dinner, 10 years old, saying to my parents, like, oh, I got a Damon Stoudemire card. Did you know that, he has 10.8 points per game, and he's averaging 2.3 assists, and I just would, like, the photographic memory, the love for sports, playing sports, see just the feeling I got around it. And then I love telling stories. I love bringing people together. I love comedy. I love making people laugh. Mm-hmm. So that, like, it just turned me into a storyteller. Is what I would say. my question back to you, Jordan. If you're the one that low-key rips on everybody, who rips on you? Who gets you? Who can make you, like, who could go back and forth with you and make you laugh and be like, no, this dude's crazy? Who's got your number?
On the team?
On the team.
I don't really know. Like, if I tell jokes, usually it's just a joke and that's it. It's not really us going back and forth.
So nobody goes back and forth with you?
Not really, no.
Okay, so what's your favorite? Then I'll change it to, what is your favorite argument with Coach X?
My favorite argument with Coach X?
Yeah.
Well, I have to be the player comparison. He keeps calling me Zach Randolph, so I call him Muggsy Bogues.
All right.
I just be thinking of short point guards.
Okay. All right. I got to interview Muggsy Bogues.
Really?
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And I talked to him about Space Jam, and I spoke with him about Charles Barkley. And Muggsy, he's got a unique voice.
Mm-hmm.
He talks like this.
And I was like, and I asked him about Charles, and I'll never forget standing in the studio, and he was like, yo, he's like, Charles is crazy. And I'll never forget that he said that. I was like, how so? And it was almost like you don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Chuck says some things. All right, Mari, we're going to go one more round. What's your question for me?
Let's see. If your passion wasn't broadcasting, what would you think you would be?
I got a bunch. So one of them I think will probably shock y'all, but songwriting and singing. I've written over 40 songs in my life. I sang since I was 3. And going through like this tooth surgery and the wisdom tooth and everything that was before it and the pain and all that, like, didn't allow me to kind of be fully me and be in my music. So I'm, praying to God, and I know that, like, I'll get all that back, and I look forward to singing out for God and giving him that. Songwriting, storytelling, really in a lot of different venues. So stand-up comedy, which I always link into my stuff, but like to just go up and just kind of let it all out. I dated a lot of crazy women. I got a lot of stories. I made them funny. It's ridiculous. I got some stories from being on the bus now with you guys. But so I would say stand-up comedy and screenwriting. I have an idea for a Spider-Man movie that would make him into a Spider-Man that we've never seen. We've never come close to seeing, and I would literally break him to make him. And I have, like, I just want Sony Pictures to be like, hey, call me up, let me work only on Spider-Man films, and I will make you a Spider-Verse that will get people to the movie theaters, change the entire dynamic, and just make this web of very unique stories all kind of come together. I got a passion for it, so I wrote 88 pages of a script years ago, and this year I will be writing a Spider-Man script that I don't think anybody can defeat. I know they can't.
I gotta see that.
Word. Spider-Man, my favorite superhero.
Yeah,
So
Oh, yeah?
that'd be fire.
Spider-Man's definitely my favorite superhero.
All right.
That'd definitely be fire.
Yeah, well, the story's coming. And it's built off of 3 things that Andrew Garfield said in No Way Home. Literally 3 sentences. I was like, I could do something with that. So, my question back to you, Mari. If you had to give me the title of the documentary that I'm doing for the Bobcats this season and root toward a national championship and to win a national championship, what would you want me to call it?
That's a good one.
That's a great question.
Let me see. I don't know. That's a good question.
Great one.
Let me see. You might have to come back to me on that.
Come back to you? All right,
That's a
Jordan.
good question.
What's your question for me?
Favorite sports team, like basketball. Favorite basketball team.
Toronto Raptors.
Ooh,
I know.
that's a
They
weird one.
they blew the whole team up. No, I've been a Raptors fan. So so when the logo came out in '94, grew up loving dinosaurs, show and tell. I was all about that, Jurassic Park and all that. So when I saw a team that had this like really cool, unique look, I like the original jerseys that they had the whole raptor and they had like the jagged lines and the white
one.
Yeah, the white, the purple. I got them both. And Damon Stoudemire, I just kind of took to him in '95, and he won Rookie of the Year. So I've been a fan since day zero. I was told, like, why would you like the only NBA team that's not even in America? Like, they're never going to win a championship. They're never going to get close. I'm still waiting for people to apologize. Because in 2019, like, we did something. So, I mean, Kawhi, I mean, they were, that team was crazy. But, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, they just broke it all apart. And the thing is Toronto had a tendency in the past, like, Damon was really good, they let him go. Vince was really good, they let him go. Tracy was really good, they let him go. And John Wallace, who played at Syracuse, he was a Raptor for a minute, and great guy coming off the bench, they let him go. So, I mean, to me, it just really, it didn't make sense to me, but they put a team together. I didn't think that they could do it without DeRozan, and I thought they needed Kawhi and DeRozan. And when Kawhi and the team and by the way, like, for y'all, like, Kawhi did something, like, he's a superstar that did all the trench work. That's why I talked about trench work. Like, he did all the dirty. Like that, I mean, how many people shoot a foul shot and then chase down if they miss their own foul shot? Because normally when that ball comes off the rim, if you step forward, you're there. But 99.9% of guys don't do it. He's chasing that down. He's running out of bounds. He's going on the floor. This make million superstar guy is doing all the dirty work that people think the guy off the bench for 2 minutes is going to do. So if Kawhi could be anything to you guys, it's like, be Kawhi today. Go after everything. And I respect him for that. So people are like, he left after that. What do you think? I'm like, Kawhi is, that dude will always be one of my favorite Raptors of all time because he gave everything to Toronto. Never said a bad thing about Toronto. And I respect it. So my question back to you, Jordan. Okay, let me see here. If you went on a comedy tour and you had a little Def Jam of comedy with Jordan Drain, who would be the 3 comedians you'd want to tour with?
Like comedians?
Yeah, like real comedians.
Wow. I like Dave Chappelle.
Yo, you know what's crazy? That's the first
Dave Chappelle is hilarious.
He's funny.
Who else?
He's funny, but he's deep. Like, he has messages to his stuff.
I got my friend. Like, he's an upcoming comedian. His name is Pudgy.
Pudgy?
He's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
So Dave, Pudgy, and
that's hard. I ain't gonna lie.
You could pick probably a new school comedian too.
Yeah, I'd probably pick like Kev Hart.
Okay.
Or
Kev. If Kev and Dave were in a joke battle, who do you think would win?
I'm going Dave. Nah. If they're going back and forth like joking on each other, then I have to go Kevin Hart.
You're gonna have to go Kev?
Facts.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm interested now, and I'm coming back to your answer. But who would you pick as your comedian?
I'll pick Drewski. Drewski is really funny.
Hilarious.
Okay.
He's funny. Definitely Dave Chappelle. And the last guy, I forgot his name, but he's like some TikToker in New York. He goes to New York comedy shows.
Okay.
He's like hilarious.
He's good?
I don't remember his name though.
Did you guys watch Chappelle's show? Yeah.
All the time.
Who's your favorite Chappelle character? You haven't watched it?
I haven't.
We got it.
I don't know the crackhead's name.
Tyrone Biggums.
Yeah, Tyrone Biggums. Yo, he's hilarious.
Yeah,
that skit. That skit is always hilarious.
Yeah, so at the last job that I worked at, and I didn't get fired from this job, so let me make that clear. But because I work for myself now, but the Rebecca is receptionist there, and her and I watched Chappelle's show, and like nobody else in the building was into the show. I don't know, people were just weird in that building. And so one time this lady was there, and we were supposed to pick up our checks. And so they had our checks at the front desk. And this woman came in, like a listener to one of the broadcasts. She came in to pick up an award. And I'm known for doing things that are ridiculous, but doing them in the moment, and then just leaving that space. So I go do something, and then I'm out. And so this woman had no idea who I was, who Rebecca was, how we knew each other. And I went up to her and I said, "Can I get my money cash? I got some errands to run. I don't think I'm gonna make the bank." And then she gave me my check. I said, "Give me my money. I earned it." And then I walked out, and the woman just turned real slow and just looked at me. And I looked at Rebecca. I was like, I live for moments like that. So you like Tyrone Biggums? He's my favorite one.
He's hilarious.
So you guys get the last word. So, Mari, I'm going to say this, I'm going to preface this, and I want you to go out, and I want you to take everything that I say, and I want you to bring it up to 10 today. Can you do that for me?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm about to say. Okay, I've known Darren for a long time. Interviewed Darren years ago. You guys are the two seniors. You do not deserve to end your career without a national championship. Okay? There's guys on this team like Jordan that have some more time, some more things we can do. But he should win more than one. You and Darren have done the work. You've put it in. You've been here. And to me, everything that you've given to this program, everything you've given to the Bobcats of Syracuse, I feel like this team needs to lock in and make sure that leaders like you and Darren win a national championship. You get the last word. What do you want to say?
I just want to say I got a chip on my shoulder, man. I got a chip on my shoulder to go out there and get these things done. I got no time for the games. Straight off the tip off.
All right. I look forward to seeing what that looks like.
Absolutely, me too.
Jordan, Player of the Year. You can't
get that, bro.
You. Oh, he got it. I mean, listen, in my world, he has it. And I, when you came in, and I'm going to say this about you, Coach Clay said to me, he's like, you don't understand. He's like, I got a program changer. I got this guy coming in. Like, I got Jordan. He's going to come do a visit. Like, I'm really excited. I met you that day on the visit. Came over, shook my hand. Nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. Ever since that day, you have had, like, calm, light in your heart, like, just kindness. Always shake my hand. How you doing, Dan? No matter what's going on, who I'm talking to, where it is, you always come up. What's up, Dan? How you doing, Dan? You don't approach the game like, yeah, I'm somebody, yeah, I'm this, yeah, I'm that. You go out, you go to work, but you go to work with that humble attitude. You go to work as a member of a team. You go to work where it's not all about you. Mm-hmm. And I respect that. I respect the fact that this team is a team. It's not about Mari. It's not about Jordan. It's about us. Mm-hmm. You get the final word. What do you want to say?
Well, my dad always told me to be a humble beast, so you let the game do the talking instead of just yapping.
Jordan Drain, Chamarri Baskerville, the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are your number one seed. The game is today, mid-afternoon in Buffalo. And I'm not going to say that it starts the tournament. It continues the story. And we look forward to continuing it beyond that. Mm-hmm. We thank you for being here in this edition of the Bobcat Buzz. Wake Up Call will be back after this fast break from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. But not before I say thank you.
Thank you for having me.
These gentlemen.
Appreciate you for having me.
Appreciate you both. Work to do. We'll be back after this. Stay with us. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying. In the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes. Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees, and as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When we first started the business in '07, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There's a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience, it's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really change the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allowing customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality, and I think on both of those fronts, Servamation has really in large part changed that value system for employees, so they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water machine, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean to cup coffee machine. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. In a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I could tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be at the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to servomation.com.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks comes to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. You will find them open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6 and on Sundays from 10 to 5 for all your sports card and trading card needs. Collecting cards as a kid, as I spoke with the guys about on the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. I've done it since I was little, and being in my 30s now, I still love it. And because of GG Cards and Breaks, I would argue that I even love it more. I love it differently in a good way. So, I mean, it starts with Josh and Anthony, and it's just an incredible place. You know, you want to go somewhere you're appreciated. You want to go somewhere you have fun. You want to go somewhere where you can be a big kid. And I think the best adults are the ones that have that kid spirit, that spirit of whimsy and excitement, and you never know what's going to happen next. And just the belief in just having an adventure. And every time I open up a pack of cards or a box of cards, it's an adventure to me. Every time I go into the store, I don't know what I'm going to find. I'm discovering something new. And GG Cards and Breaks gives me that. It gives all of us that. And it's just such a wonderful, wonderful piece of our community. And I love the blood, sweat, and tears that their team put in, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have it. So thanks, guys. GG Cards and Breaks, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 5. With that being said, here on the show, we have had an extremely exciting conversation today. We genuinely had two shows in one. If I just sat here with Chamarri Baskerville and Jordan Drain, it was a great show. If I just sat here with Mary Hawkins and Brooke Paro, it was a great show. And now airing as its own separate video, we have another great show. Dylan McDermott, who is moving forward from Binghamton University to play one step from being in the MLS inside of MLS Next Pro for New York City FC2. And that story is incredible too. So it's all going on. It's all worldwide. The Bobcats, the Bearcats, everything we do with the Dolphins. Wake Up Call it's a passion project. And I could not be more honored to be here in Buffalo watching another group of people work on a passion project and to be a part of it. And those are the Bobcats of Syracuse. They're coming. They're coming. And you can be ready. You cannot be ready. But that's not going to change the fact that they're coming. Here on Wake Up Call, we're with you Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. Once the shows go live, they hop into the archives on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Make sure you subscribe and follow. From New York to North Carolina, I am a huge fan of the Brooklyn Pickle, and my favorite sandwich from the Brooklyn Pickle is the one that is named after the Brooklyn Pickle, and that's the BP, the Brooklyn Pickle itself. Go and get yourself a Brooklyn Pickle sandwich today. Go and get yourself a salad today, a soup today. I absolutely love everything that they do over at Brooklyn Pickle, and I appreciate the fact that they've expanded into the rest of the world, down to the great state of North Carolina, right down the road from the very well-known Pinehurst Golf Course. You can go and see Brooklyn Pickle on 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina today. Let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and I appreciate it as always. And a big thanks to our incredible team of partners in Central and Upstate New York. I cannot say enough about this wonderful, wonderful group of businesses that is my team that I am blessed to work alongside. Great Lakes Honda City, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, Servomation, reinvigorating, reimagining, retooling, just bringing us vending in a way that I never expected. The quality of food, the variety of food, the kitchen that they have, the technology that they have, the things that they could do is absolutely incredible. You hear Brian Bruno, the owner of Servomation, speak about it every single broadcast of Wake Up Call here in the morning about how he saw things that were wrong in the business and he wanted to change them. A lot of people see things that they would do differently and they don't do anything about it except talk about it. Well, Brian Bruno, he didn't talk about it. He went out there and he was going to be about it. And being about it changed the scope of what we know vending to be. And I can't thank Brian enough for that. If you have a place that needs vending, the only phone call is Servomation. And you can find out more by going to servomation.com. Pizza Man, Brian's Landing, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Mother's Cupboard, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Avicoli's, and of course we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Dolphins every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. You can get all of our specials by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and of course, you can find our Lemoyne playlist. The Dolphins are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to LemoyneDolphins.com and Fins Up. The Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bobcats every single month right here with us, where sports truly meets that thing called life, telling the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration. I cannot thank them enough for all that we get to bring to the show with the Bobcats. We're spending a week with the Bobcats. It is a business trip, a Bobcat business trip to Buffalo. Say that 10 times fast. We are here. This is different. The story is being written, and I love the fact that I get to see it in the making, and I get to know the people behind the making of this story. Cannot say enough about the Bobcats, and I love the fact that they have rolled out the blue carpet for me this week. You could find all of our Bobcat wonderful exclusives with the Bobcat Buzz by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find our BSC Syracuse playlist on our YouTube channel. And of course, you can find the Bobcats by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Binghamton University Bearcats. Find the Bearcats every Tuesday during Bearcat time, including today with our special that's currently airing with Dylan McDermott of the Binghamton Bearcats men's soccer team, who is now playing for New York City FC2, one step below being inside of the MLS. And you can find that special and so much more Tuesdays at 10 a.m. on the broadcast. And then, of course, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will find your Bearcats there with student athletes, coaches, and administration, as well as alumni like Dylan McDermott. And all of that is on our Binghamton playlist on our YouTube channel. The Bearcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said here on the show, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of this. I cannot thank the Bobcats enough for letting me be a part of this story that is being written in the moment. We are ready to play. I cannot wait to be at this game. And I'm ready to have the time of my life. I know these guys are going to bring it. I know these coaches are going to bring it. I know these fans are going to bring it. And I can't wait to see it. And I hope you come out to Buffalo for the USCAA Division I men's basketball tournament, as well as the Division II men's basketball tournament and the Division I and Division II women's basketball tournaments. Thanks to the USCAA. Thanks to the Bobcats. Find us on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. For now, from the Travel Great Lakes Honda City Studios, I wish you a God bless, no stress, do your best.